So today's a fun day for me, and that's because I'm trying out Discmania's new DD1 that came in their red mystery box from this year as of filming. It might be 2023 by the time I get this one out. And then I'm gonna compare it to their old DD. So the flight numbers are kind of similar, 11.5 minus 1.2 on the new DD1, and then 11.502 on the old DD. The DD1 is in the Horizon plastic with their new Stratosphere line of discs, and then the old DD1 is in the old S line made by Innova. So obviously the DD is beat in and used, and it's a disc that I use currently in my bag for a lot of longer turnover shots. So it's kind of a bit understable at this point, at least for me. So I'm curious to see how a new DD1 checks out in comparison. Let's get that first throw in. Now that felt pretty good. So let's compare it to that DD. With that DD being a little bit higher, they still got to about the same distance, but I think it had a little bit of flip up and turn that the DD1 just didn't quite have. The DD1 flew a bit straighter, so let's get those distances and get them on some other lines. So the first throw with the new DD1 went out to that 415 foot mark, which is pretty sweet for the first throw without having any experience with how it should be flying. The DD, a little bit higher, little sky, little nose up, came in about 15 feet shorter, right around 400 feet. So I think I could probably get this disc close to 450, rather controlled. And I'm curious to see if I can't get on some other lines, maybe get some more distance, or find out if there's a shot that it can fill for a slot in my bag. A little bit further on that Anheuser shot at 440 feet with the DD1 and 430 with the DD. Now it's not the same exact shot, but they're pretty similar, and I think the DD1 has a more neutral flight, which allows it to hold that Annie a little bit longer in the air, but it still has a bit more reliable of a fade, I think, than the DD does, at least this beat-in one anyway. So let's get some forehands and see how these fly on those. So they look pretty similar, and I still have a bunch of off-axis torque in my forehands, hence the flutter coming out of the hand. But both seem to flatten out and hold pretty straight quite well with that reliable fade at the end. For you power forehanders out there, these might get a little bit more turn, so you might have to start them on a bit more hyzer to allow them to flip up to flat, and then hopefully still have that reliable fade for you. The last throw up today is going to be a backhand hyzer, so I'm going to try and get these pretty high and on a light hyzer and see how much I can get them to fade back left at the end of their flights. So let's get those hyzer shots. One of my favorite shots to throw, and hopefully you enjoy watching it. So again, not the same exact shot, a little bit different in height again, but both of them pretty much hold that hyzer angle And then with the extra height that I got on the S-Line DD, it ends up fading out a little bit more and a little bit sharper, and it gets a little bit less ground play. But both of them fly very similar, but I would say the DD1 is almost more friendly because some DDs that I've thrown have been very overstable. This DD1 seems to fly pretty neutral and seems like that DD3 younger brother that a lot of people have been wanting, and it's a nice slot in between what is a tough to throw for some lower power players PDs. Even the new Nordic Phenom can be pretty tough to get it to fly straight enough or get a little bit of turn out of it. But this DD1 kind of fills that slot, and I'm looking forward especially to the CD1 coming out in that black mystery box this year. It's probably going to end up replacing the DDs in my bag just because if I can get it even later on for a reasonable price, around stock pricing, maybe $25 to $30, that's a lot better than buying a used disc for $25 to $30 that is going to be harder to find replacements for. And that's my big thing. Finding replacements for discs you already throw is one of the things you really need to look out for. So I hope Discmania can keep moving forward with their production, get out more discs, and get out more stock runs of discs, so that way us as players have more to throw.